The American Revolution, one of the most significant uprisings in history, saw 13 colonies rise against the British Empire, fighting for independence. But have you ever wondered, why didn't the revolution spread into Canada? After all, Canada was also under British rule at the time. Shouldn't the rebellion have naturally expanded northward? Well, the answer is more complex than you might think. In today's video, we're diving deep into history to uncover the reasons why Canada remained loyal while the American colonies broke away. Stick around until the end for a surprising twist you may not have expected. To understand why Canada didn't join the revolution, we first have to look at its history. Unlike the American colonies, which were primarily settled by the English seeking religious freedom and economic opportunities, Canada's early history was dominated by French settlement. When Britain took control of Canada after the 7 Years' War in 1763, it was dealing with a mostly French-speaking Catholic population that had very different priorities than the British colonists to the south. Instead of imposing drastic changes, Britain took a strategic approach, passing the Quebec Act of 1774, which granted religious freedom to Catholics and allowed the French legal system to remain in place. This move created a stark contrast between Canada and the American colonies, where settlers were angry over British control and taxation. But that didn't mean Americans weren't interested in bringing Canada into the revolution. In fact, they tried twice. The invasion of Canada in 1775 was an ambitious military campaign led by American forces under Benedict Arnold and Richard Montgomery. The goal? To take Quebec and rally the local population to join the revolution. It didn't go as planned. The Americans initially had some success capturing Montreal, but when they reached Quebec City, they faced harsh winter conditions, a well-fortified city, and a resilient British defense. The final battle on December 31st, 1775, ended in disaster for the Americans. Montgomery was killed, Arnold was wounded, and the revolution never took hold in Canada. Another major reason Canada remained loyal was the influx of British Loyalists, people who opposed the revolution and fled north to Canada to remain under British rule. Over 40,000 Loyalists relocated to Canada during and after the war, strengthening British support and ensuring Canada stayed out of the rebellion. These Loyalists were granted land, money, and resources by the British government, further solidifying Canada's ties to the Crown. The British military presence also remained strong in Canada, discouraging any revolutionary uprisings. Unlike the American colonies, which had booming trade networks and growing industries, Canada's economy was more dependent on Britain. The fur trade, a major industry in Canada, relied heavily on British partnerships. Many Canadians feared that breaking away from Britain would mean economic disaster. Geography also played a role. The rugged and sparsely populated terrain of Canada made communication and coordination difficult. Unlike the densely populated American colonies where ideas of revolution could spread quickly, Canada's scattered communities were less connected and less likely to rally together for a cause. Ultimately, Canada didn't join the American Revolution, but that doesn't mean it stayed under British rule forever. Instead, Canada took a more gradual path to independence, achieving self-governance through diplomatic means rather than war. The British North America Act of 1867 officially created Canada as a self-governing dominion, a process that continued until full sovereignty was achieved in 1982. In a way, Canada's decision to remain loyal during the Revolution shaped its unique identity today, one that values stability, diplomacy, and a strong connection to its history. So, what do you think? Would Canada have been better off joining the Revolution, or did it make the right call by staying loyal? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.